Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory, a proud supporter of WQPT, has been serving Quad City families since 1889. They now have live stream capabilities for viewing your loved one's funeral or memorial service.
At IHM VCU, we've always been here for you. You are and always will be our top priority. We care about your financial and physical health, and we are here. IHM VCU is a proud supporter of WQPT.
A new Rock Island County and ready for the holidays in the cities. COVID put a damper on holiday gatherings last year. This year, places like downtown Moline are ready for a post-COVID Christmas. More on that in a moment. But first, did you notice Rock Island County is getting a little bit smaller? And at the same time, it's getting a little bit bigger. New maps were released, reducing the size of the county board from 25 to 19, but each of those 19 districts is now bigger with more people. And it comes as big changes are in store for Rock Island County. For one thing, it needs to find a new leader after Administrator Jim Snyder announced he's leaving. So let's talk about the impact of all that. We spoke with Rock Island County Board Chairman Richard Brunk. On first blush, what did you think of this newly redrawn Rock Island County for the Rock Island County Board?
Well, I think the map accomplishes pretty much everything that the committee laid out for the consultants. It protects minority voices on the board. It maintains rural representation, and I think it's actually they've done a pretty good job.
Speaking of such, I mean, it was important for, I think the way you would say it is, Western Rock Island County has 2 African-American districts that were protected. Northern Moline has 2 Hispanic districts that were protected. And then in southwest Rock Island County, you have 2 agricultural districts that were protected. That seems to be one of the things that was really important as far as redrawing these lines.
Yes, all of that was. And if you remember, Jim, earlier this year, we had a number of town hall style meetings, although they had to be held remotely, for community members to have an opportunity to ask questions and learn about the process and voice their thoughts or their concerns about how the process moved forward. We also had a meeting and involved various community organizations from throughout the area. And they provided input, and yes, minority voices, rural representation, all of that was at the top of the list. And
at the same time, reducing a board from 25 members to 19 members. I mean, it was a huge task that was done in order to create these maps.
Yes, correct. And the consultants done a good job, as I mentioned, especially considering the fact that Rock Island County's geography created some unique challenges. We're around 100 miles long, but we're only 12 or 13 miles wide at our widest. And so you can only cut that or slice that so many ways. So I think that they did accomplish a pretty good job there.
When it comes to reapportionment, there's another thing that I think the public doesn't really think about, but surely your members do, and that's what's going to happen to a lot of incumbents. You're going to have people thrown into the same seats. Democrats running against Democrats, longtime Republicans perhaps running against longtime Republicans. What does this map do in that area?
Well, when it comes to that, Jim, it worked out pretty fortunate, as we had a number of members that expressed to me early on this year that they did not intend to seek re-election. And then we've also had some members, as you know, we have a member who is running for the 17th Congressional District. We have a member that is running for the 72nd House District. So that opened up, some additional seats there to help kind of soften the blow as far as the board reduction.
As we were saying, you do have some protections for minority districts. Have you heard? Because I know the NAACP had some concerns early on. I mean, have you heard anything? And I know that the maps have only just recently been released. Have you heard anything, though, from these groups?
I have not heard anything from those groups. I actually did reach out to all of the organizations, including the NAACP, the Farm Bureau, and local LULAC organizations and others who actually took part in that meeting that we had earlier this year, where we had a lot of back and forth and engagement as far as different concerns and maybe some unique perspectives that they had as far as how that process was going to move forward. And we did reach out to them earlier this week and let them know about the maps, let them know about the meetings and the opportunity to come and view the maps and voice their thoughts. But I have not heard from any of those organizations. We did have the Farm Bureau's director attend the meeting, and she was going to make sure that the Farm Bureau board, was well aware of the maps, and so it was nice to see them come and take part in the meeting yesterday.
Of course, this is all happening as you're about to start a search for another county administrator. Jim Snyder announcing he's going to go to Washington, Illinois to become a city administrator there. Did that come as a surprise? And I know you're going to be intensifying the search in the coming days, but we're now going to be, looking at a third administrator in so many years? I don't want to say a revolving door, but they're not staying very long.
Right. No, excuse me, Jim. No, I wasn't surprised because Mr. Snyder had given me a heads up that he had been approached about applying for the position. It was an opportunity really that he could not turn down. It takes him a lot closer to his family in Canton, Illinois. It gives him the opportunity to take part in family events much more often. And I think that that's important for anybody. And so I wasn't surprised. I am sad to see him go, but I definitely understand his reasons.
You've had these two county administrators that have been, charting the county through some choppy financial waters. Do you think that this third administrator will have an easier time because of the work that's been done over the last 4 or 5 years?
Jim, we still have challenges that we're facing. We are still, working to shore up county finances, although we're headed in a very good direction right now. But yes, definitely. I think that both Dave Ross and Jim Snyder over the last 3 years has definitely helped guide the county and the board through some very, very challenging issues that we faced, and I think that the next administrator will definitely benefit from his work as well as that of Mr. Ross.
The creation of the county administrator position is relatively new. I mean, it's not that new, but relatively new. Do you think that has worked?
I think that there has been a lot of good come from that. Yes, we've worked through a lot of our problems and challenges, and we've started operating maybe in a little bit of a more professional manner, if you will. So I've seen a lot of good. I mean, we continue to have some hiccups just because, as you said, the position is relatively new. So to be perfectly clear, Jim Snyder has been continuing to pave that path, to lay that foundation for exactly what the administrator's position here in Rock Island County will entail for years going forward. But yes, there's been a lot of benefits from it, I believe.
You do point out that we've seen some hiccups in Rock Island County. One of the biggest hiccups, of course, is caused by COVID and some of the budget problems that you had. I believe you were ending last year about a $5.4 million had to be cut. Major concessions were being made. This is a year ago in the midst of COVID. What's the financial position of Rock Island County a year later? How are you ending this year?
I don't have the exact dollar figures in front of me right now, Jim, but I will tell you this. There's been a number of things that have provided an opportunity for us to really shore up county finances. We are actually building a somewhat significant fund balance at this point, and there's a number of things that have factored into that. The sale of Hope Creek Care Center, it was a tough decision, but one of the end results of that, if you will, we were not only able to reduce $2.7 million off the property tax levy, but we stopped hemorrhaging money. And so that helped us to start shoring up county finances. Changes in sales tax related to internet sales has helped us along that path. Revenue from marijuana dispensaries and so on, as well as the CARES Act funds and the ARPA funds. All of that has provided us an opportunity, as long as we manage it well, to really shore up county funds and county finances. So I will tell you, we're not at the recommended 25% reserve, for municipal governments. We're on our way.
We're now in the process of, I guess you would say, memorializing, although I guess it's called, what is it, recordation of the old Rock Island County courthouse, taking pictures, making sure some of the artifacts, everything historically is remembered before the building is torn down. What's your best guesstimate, I guess, right now for demolition of the old courthouse?
Well, I'm hoping that we will be able to I was initially hoping to be able to put a proposal in front of the board this month to approve a recordation consultant. Unfortunately, the timing of putting out the RFP, I'm hoping that it will be in December that we'll be able to approve a recordation consultant. And then I believe it'll be a matter of how soon they can be on site. As soon as they're able to get on site, hopefully the process, I'm hoping maybe a month or so, but that's somewhat of a guesstimate. Once they complete the process, all of that information and documents will be submitted to the state. Once the state has reviewed it and made sure that it meets the terms set in the MOA that we recently agreed to, they'll sign off on it, and the state EPA and others will issue the required permits for demolition.
We're in the process of the deer strike. It's going to have a major impact the longer that it lasts on the communities as well as on the taxpayers too. Is that at all being factored in for Rock Island County? I know you're always looking at revenues, and you've got these deer workers who are now on strike. The longer that strike's going to last, will it have an impact on Rock Island County?
Well, I think it's going to have I think it would have an impact on all levels of government, local and likely the state. I guess it's a matter of how much of an impact. As that goes on, you're going to see, likely some reduced spending, not only on the part of those individuals affected by the strike and trying to, get a good settlement of the contract, but also by Deere and other companies associated with those type of operations. So I think you'll see an impact, but exactly what that impact will be, I really don't know.
Rock Island County Board Chairman Richard Brunk. In a moment, making merry in Moline. But first, Laura Adams has ideas for you in the days leading up to Thanksgiving as we also get ready to go out and about.
This is Out and About for November 12th through 18th. The holidays kick off with Moline Center's Holiday Hop, November 12th and 13th. Downtown Moline becomes a winter wonderland with giveaways, Santa, and all kinds of specials. Or run or walk the rolling hills and scenic roads of Blackhawk College on the 13th for their 5K hustle starting at 8 a.m. Winter Wheels Antique Motorcycle Exhibition is a ride through history on two wheels at the Putnam Museum, featuring vintage, classic, and antique motorcycles of all makes and models. The Columbus Club of Davenport is holding a trivia night for veteran charities the 13th, while downtown Muscatine is holding their annual holiday open house the 14th starting at noon. Put on your dancing shoes for the 15th annual Welcome Home Veterans Day dance at Bailey's Quad Cities on the 12th at 6:30. While on stage, catch the comedy You Can't Take It With You at Playcrafters Barn Theater the 12th through the 21st. The Bruner Theater presents one of Shakespeare's most powerful and enduring works. Macbeth runs the 11th through the 13th at the Augustana Theater, while St. Ambrose University Theater presents She Kills Monsters through the 19th at Galvin Fine Arts. And Circa 21 presents a heartwarming new musical, Winter Wonderland. Catch comedy at Renwick Mansion with Tomfoolery on Tremont featuring Sarah Perry the 12th at 8. For more information, visit WQPT.org.
Thank you, Laura. We try to spend some time each week highlighting a local musician who's creating original music for audiences in the Quad Cities. That includes Jonathan Turner, who performed for us his original, Midwest Boy.
Just a Midwest boy and a Jersey girl, alone in New York, alone in the world. after night, the boy and girl wondered if they'd ever find the one, or would their hungry hearts be forever born to run? They thought, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? To share with me the rest of my life. Just a Midwest boy and a Jersey girl. One day they met online. They let their feelings unfurl. With the touch of a mouse they clicked, got together the very next day. The date she was born, on their date she was reborn to stay. She felt, I found you, I found you, I found you, I found you for the rest of my life. Just a Jersey girl and a Midwest boy. She gave him hope, he brought her joy. Then one afternoon in June, she asked him to be his bride. Though it was raining out, the sunshine streamed inside. He said, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I love you for the rest of my life. Now we're so happy to be here on your wedding day, to bask in your glow and let you know that we love you. 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 And we'll love you for the rest of our lives.
That's Jonathan Turner and Midwest Boy, performed at the Black Box Theater in downtown Moline. It's beginning to look a lot like, well, mid-November, but mid-November is when the holidays really kick off for several downtowns, hoping to get you into the spirit of spending and merrymaking. And such is the case in the heart of Moline, where organizers are ready to throw open the sashes like they were unable to do a year ago. We talked with the head of the Moline Center Main Street Commission, Jeff Manis. The holiday season in Moline actually kind of kicks off with the holiday pop coming up November 13th and 14th. Let's be honest, last year you did the best you could. This year you're all set for the holidays.
Yeah, we're getting there for sure. If you go to downtown Moline right now, you'll see tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of twinkling Christmas lights going up literally as we speak.
What was the impact last year? I mean, merchants did okay, but they really had to get through that season to get to this season.
Yeah, it was especially challenging for our food and beverage downtown establishments. If you remember in 2020, the second mandated shutdown occurred, which limited capacities indoors, which not only affected our downtown restaurant establishments, but it also affected the retail side of things as well. Because when people journey downtown, they like to both shop for their family during the holidays and then get a bite to eat as well. So it was a substantial impact.
So what's planned for the holiday hop then?
Well, since we weren't able to facilitate the holiday hop last year, we're doubling it up in many, many ways. Not only in terms of budgetary dollars, but also in terms of making sure and ensuring that it's going to be safe for the many holiday hoppers that interact with the event. For example, in years past, we always only had one free trolley for the holiday hoppers to get whisked away into the different corners and pockets of downtown Moline. This year we have 2 free trolleys. We've also extended the duration of time to give people more opportunity to make their way make their way downtown for all the great deals and holiday specials that our many businesses that are participating have arranged for this year's holiday hop. Instead of it just being on Friday from 4 to 8, it is now on Saturday as well from 12 to 6. So there's plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to participate in this year's holiday hop.
And Lighting in the Commons, that's back, bigger than ever?
It most definitely is back and better than ever. We're doubling down on many aspects of that as well. One thing, for example, would be the fireworks. We have doubled our budget this year for the fireworks that go up in the sky and go boom. So it'll be as exciting as a Lighting on the Commons as, I'd say dating back all the way to the first one, especially since we couldn't facilitate that event last year as well.
You also have Disney on Ice going on at the TaxSlayer Center. Let's be honest, getting the TaxSlayer Center up and running and bringing in these big events, that's going to have a huge impact once again in downtown Moline.
Oh, undoubtedly. The TaxSlayer Center, it is a major aspect to the sustainability of downtown Moline and the way it's designed. From every single block that incorporates downtown Moline, without the TaxSlayer Center fully activated and programming concerts like Lee Bice was just in town last night. When those events are happening, our restaurants fill up. People have opportunity to shop at our many retailers in downtown Moline. So without them activating their space, it's hard to keep things moving in terms of a sustainability perspective here in downtown Moline. The same would be for the both blue collar and white collar workforce and jobs that are in downtown Moline. We're really looking forward to bringing it all back at full capacity.
People were very careful last holiday season between Thanksgiving and Christmas, COVID holding people back or the fear that they may not have enough money. So it was both a health and a financial reason. It's almost feeling like we're getting close to being unrestrained. It's like this pent up, this is going to be our Christmas, we're taking Christmas back.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there's still that level of safety that we all need to approach this holiday season with masking up and social distancing and whatnot, but it definitely feels like a more normal holiday season this year.
I know we're talking about the holidays, and I apologize for my next question, but you got to think about summer and you got to think about the future, especially with the completion of the I-74 bridge. I would think that downtown Moline area is already heavily preparing for when the old bridge comes down and ways to bring people into the downtown area rather than flying over that bridge to their destination. Are you excited about that? And are the plans actually becoming more concrete now?
Oh, most definitely. Now that the DOT is nearing completion on both spanses of the bridge, and as we begin to establish a game plan for what we're going to do with that about 14 or so acres of the old I-74 bridge, it creates an opportunity for the city of Moline and specifically downtown Moline that is more than a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is going to be an exciting situation for the city of Moline to be able to activate a very large expanse of our riverfront and to develop it in a very much 21st century approach. It's one of those situations where between COVID-19 and this complications of getting rerouted all over the place for the I-74 bridge, that the best is yet to come. It's exciting.
Well, we've also gotten news, of course, in the last few days of a ale house that's going to be moving into the queue. into where the railroad depot, the passenger rail depot is going to be at some point, or if people remember, it's where the Element Hotel is, or you can call it this old Sears warehouse. It all depends on what you want to call it. Is that an indication that there's going to be like a laser spotlight in downtown Moline among entrepreneurs and business people? Is that kind of part of the spark that we're starting to see?
Yeah, we would definitely want to focus in on downtown Moline being that entrepreneurial accelerator for small businesses, startups to zero in on what all that we have to offer in downtown Moline. And Poor Bros is the name of that tap room that's coming to the Q, aka the Element Hotel, and we couldn't be any more excited about it. Very excited.
I was kind of thinking that because you're looking for destination, you're looking for unique places that people may not see elsewhere, and you look at some of the things that have developed. I mean, I think of the Access Hotel. What a great linchpin that is, and of course you've got Watermark Corners, you got the Deer Pavilion. You actually, downtown Moline has got an awful lot of different things that are kind of meshing all together right now.
Yeah, I think downtown Moline is very unique in that it's where history meets the 21st century. There's whether it's you're going through the corridor of 6th Avenue or 5th Avenue, or the newer developments along River Drive. It's kind of got the best of both. It's a very dynamic and unique downtown Moline within our region.
And speaking of dynamic and unique, is there a place in Moline where people can buy that suit?
I'm sure there is.
It's unique. It's one and only, right?
I traveled to South Park Mall to Von Maur a few years back to buy this suit. I haven't been to Von Maur during the holiday season to see if these are back on the racks, but you might want to check there first.
Was that clearance or was that full price?
I paid full boat for it, and it was worth every last penny.
Thank you, Jeff. That's Jeff Manis, head of the Moline Center Main Street Commission. On the air, on the radio, on the web, on your mobile device, and streaming on your computer. Thanks for taking some time to join us as we talk about the issues on the cities.
Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory, a proud supporter of WQPT, has been serving Quad City families since 1889. They now have live stream capabilities for viewing your loved one's funeral or memorial service.
At IHM VCU, we've always been here for you. You are and always will be our top priority. We care about your financial and physical health, and we are here. IHM VCU is a proud supporter of WQPT.